Indicator for the strongest housing market in the country has a market segment that is down by 20% in home price. And that would be Miami. And that's not just Miami. I am going to show you some of the craziest, really what is my favorite leading indicator. And again, I know a lot of times when you come on YouTube, you try to sound hyperbolic, but the numbers speak for themselves. And this is a fascinating trend because it's happening at a season of time when it should not be falling. This should be the strongest point of the entire year in 2024. And all of the markets throughout Florida that I'm going to show you, major markets, are absolutely softening in real time. And it's not to be a surprise. I mean, ultimately, you're seeing many, many stories. If you follow the news from Tampa, from Miami, from the, both coastlines, even what, when we consider the Miami market side, particularly like Fort Lauderdale, Boca, all these areas, everybody suspects those are the strongest economies. They're going to do fine. And really this, most of the Florida danger is really somewhere else. That is no longer the case. And it's happening at one of the strongest points of moving season that we're supposed to see. And before you jump into my comments, a lot of people love to just hammer Florida because it's Florida. You have to understand the things that I'm talking about that are relating to the condo market crumbling in real time. I mean, it is getting bad here, folks. I'm going to show you, got some really cool new data tools that I think are going to really be stark eye-opening as to how bad that it's getting for this particular segment of the market. But you have to understand, I just watched a CNN video from Beverly Hills, one of the selling LA agents that is, was out there saying, we're struggling to sell in California because, homes here cost $100,000 a year for insurance. And now people are dropping to insurance products that are cheaper just to get by in LA, and they're taking longer to sell in LA and all these other California markets, struggling with the same situation. So before you go in the comments say, oh, this is a problem for Florida. No, this is a problem because the cost of everything has ballooned, and insurance cost, and particularly homeowner association fees, all these kinds of things. You're seeing these people that are owning these buildings throughout Florida, owning these condos, now pumping them all into the market, dumping tons of inventory. They're getting squeezed out. And it's easy for people to run the comments and say, oh, you know what this is? This is just people, that rich millionaires that, they've been running the cost of everything up. These are the billionaires and blah, blah, blah. No. These aren't people that were greedy that bought these condos 3 years ago that are getting squeezed out. These are people that own in Brickell in Miami or wherever Tampa, fill in the blank. Some of them have owned for 20, 30 years. Now, all of a sudden, because the inflation, pandemic reasoning, we had our entire economy shut down. Then we want to subsidize all this lack of productivity, right? Because we lock our country down. So then we had all this positive monetary policy. We had literally money forced into people's hands. Say, hey, take the bailout. Everybody got paid to stay at home and all this kind of stuff. Well, all that free, easy money runs the price of everything up, combined, obviously, with supply chain issues. And here we are, okay? We ran the cost of repairing buildings and repairing houses. Now the HOAs can't afford the insurance, and the insurance goes up because the cost of insuring is up. And now you have a major issue on our hands. Look at this. This, my friends, is Miami, okay? So this is Miami-Dade. This is just the condo market list price. Look at this. The peak list price, the asking price if you own a condo. Look what's going on all the way into 2022. Okay. Then obviously we have a whole lot of issues happening after this point, but we had peak asking prices at $642,000. You know where they are today? 20% less. The median ask in Miami for a condo is now $520,000. And my friends, it is falling. This is not a trend that you're supposed to see in any economy in Florida through moving season. It doesn't fall like this. It is going into soft season. It is going into weak season down. Look at it. Look what I'm showing you. This was the peak. Look when the peak happened. It happened in a summer month. Then it craters in the fall. And then look what happened in 2023. It comes back a little bit, but my friends, it ain't coming back. This down move going in from April, May, June, July, this down move is not good. Oh, by the way, it's not just Miami. Let me show you the rest of the marketplace. So here's Broward. Look at Broward County. Let me bring this up, by the way. Most of these marketplaces that I'm showing you, they have 30 to 60% price decreases. By the way, nobody's at 60, but there's some of these markets are 50% price decreases of all the listings in the inventory. So look at Broward County. So you have a peak here, middle of the year in 2022, just like the rest of the economies, at 335,000. Look at what's going on now. You had a buildup last summer, and now you're at $295,000. They're almost 10% down in Broward County. Let's go to Palm Beach County. Now look at Palm Beach County. It held as long as it could, stayed super flat. Now look what's happening in moving season this year. In March, the levee has broken, and now they're down around 320,000. Last markets I want to show you are going to be Pinellas County, which is Clearwater Beach, Treasure Island, some of those different areas on the coast of Tampa's market. Look at what's going on there. Peak was $424,900. Today, it's down to $319,000. Okay. The last time it was at $319,000, you got to go way back here in September of 2021, 3-year lows. Now, let me add context as I go into Lee County. This is Naples, by the way. Naples, much like Palm Beach, again, held on. It stayed firm and flat towards the end of last year. And then moving season, look what's happened. And their peak was probably around 405,000. Today, they're at 349,000. Again, putting an asterisk in all of this data, because I'm sure many people will go in the comments and help me out by telling you the following, that a lot of this softening is that there's nearly 1 million condos in Florida that are older, that probably have some kind of assessments getting levied. If they don't have a massive assessment now, they got one coming. Some of them have assessments every last 3 years in a row because of the structural integrity of these buildings starting to fade. And all of a sudden the bill shows up, and all of a sudden people that are involved in these properties get stressed, and many of them can no longer afford to keep the property. So you have to understand, okay? You're saying, Jared, what am I looking at? This is median list price. If the median list price starts dropping, that means you're going to have a home go under contract at a much lower price than what they were turning over at the highs. This is a future leading indicator. As these properties turn over, it's going to soften price in all these areas. Asterisk again, you have to watch the comps. You have to see where they're softening. You have to see which buildings are going down. Doesn't mean all of them. And I know if you're in Naples, you're already in the comments. I already know. You're like, oh, my building's new. It's great. Selling like crazy. We get $1.5 million. No problem. Okay, great. This is about 1 million other buildings that are unsellable. Okay. That is, reckoning is here. You know, that's the interesting part. The part about this that I'm most curious about is, even though you're seeing, you know, for instance, in Miami, you're seeing this massive fall off in the value of the asking price. Okay. All this tells us is that the people in those markets, the sentiment between the broker putting it on the market, these are listed real estate for sale, and the owner is looking around saying demand is gone. There's too many overwhelming factors, more supply hitting. My neighbors are all for sale. None of it is selling. They're all precipitating price reductions themselves. So more of that starts to descend price. And then ultimately, what's going to happen is you're eventually going to have one of them sell. When it does sell, you set a new price target for the area. But make no mistake, my biggest concern about this data, I do not think that every single building and every single type of situation is unique. And I want to acknowledge it as unique. I want to say it's not the same. But I also want to acknowledge this is hugely unusual. You have to go years and years back before you see a moving season slam down deceleration in price. And ultimately again, if you haven't already watched some of my videos, I'm trying to link some of those here where you can kind of come to an understanding of what exactly is happening, which buildings are being most affected, which mostly are the 3 floors and above, 30 years or older. Those buildings are starting to go through higher levels of pressure to certify, to follow the law. And again, lest other people, You're from up north and you want to have a chuckle in the comments about this situation for Florida. It isn't unique to Florida. We are just having our cracks revealed in an inflationary economy, no different than what you will experience in some other state when some other building in your state goes down and you have to deal with it. Because make no mistake, the people that run the buildings here that got away with whatever they got away with not repairing in time, or whatever types of structural resources need to be added, they cost all the more anywhere else. The inflation that drove the cost of these things, that's causing the cost to be borne by the current owners, they exist in your state. You're going to tell me that, oh, this is unique to just the condos in Florida are having unique problems that they've not invested for? No. I think you go to any other state, any other building, you have the same group of homeowners that want to keep monthly costs as low as they possibly can. A lot of these are fixed income type owners anywhere in the country. It's just revealed itself in Florida. Okay. Again, I'm not trying to start a war in the comments, but I know that comment's coming. So that is the update. Let me know what you think is next. And thanks for watching. We will